Hi, John here. It's Monday, 11th of January 2015. I just want to show you my lunch. Laura's got me some lovely, woohoo! See the steam coming out of that boy. And some tomatoes and some bread. Yum. She's really good. And so I just wanted to show you what I'm doing hi, John here. I just want to show you where we're up to with the Cook Street property and on computer. And also Jamie, I just been chatting to her of the latest, where we're going with things in Waitangi with the upper house opening and the flag. I've been too busy now to chat with everyone because I'm spending time with Pamia. He's doing he's the elder, native elder, doing our case outside of court, and I think he'll do well enough to put Natalie Flowerdew-Brown, detective, on notice, and she's not going to get away with this by forging documents that is not law from the Law Society, New Zealand Law Society, and lawyers and judges and, well, more so lawyers and barristers profession. So she's acting as a more police, writing up documents that arrested me, and that's highly legal to forge statements that she says are true, and the other colleagues of hers, the police, have sworn to somebody or some authority that I want disclosed, and I also want to find what sovereignty they're going under, the Queen or somebody else. So with that, it's looking very shaky on the part of the police as third party to our contract we've got with the landowners, who won't answer to where they got their title from, and also the conveyancing lawyers, Mark Hornibrook and Andrew MacDonald, lawyers, conveyancing lawyers, who put that title together to transfer from Jamie Peters into Doug Rickard Bell into James Pierce Brown and Simon Brent ROWNTREE, title holders, proprietors of 77 Cook Street, Auckland property that I'm just doing online now here. As you can see, that's the guy there who is in real trouble with the law. Now, the marshals were doing a job lawfully, and it was up to the landowners to own up to the fraud title that I've been going on about for over 6 years, 8 months, going on to 6 years, 10 months now. Now here's the affidavit that I put, John Wanoa versus NZ Police, Natalie Flowerdew-Brown. You'll notice her name is in lowercase, yet the police have put theirs in uppercase. This is a dead legal person that one of those police are talking for, and she spoke for herself. She arrested me as this, as Natalie Flowerdew-Brown, in lowercase, natural person, and me a natural person. She arrested the natural person, but on her documents down here, that's all my affidavit, okay, stories on it, right through. On the documents, along here, that's my affidavit here that I've just scrolled along and put it on here so that you can see it. In the court in London, High Court of Admiralty in London, they take all this evidence as admissible in the High Court and not here in New Zealand because they are fraudulent. That's why they don't want to do it. Now this is the documents here. I'm going to explain it to you on the video, which is better as it's more understandable. As you can see here, I want to explain it. I just want to make this a bit bigger. I've got to put the camera down to do that. Oh, I'm just explaining the affidavit. So you'll notice that we have Natalie Flowerdew-Brown in lowercase at the bottom here, and she signed the document when she arrested me, and she's put my name in capitals, as you can see, John, and then the surname is in capitals, and it's got a CRN number. Okay, so here you have the right to apply in writing for particular additional information under section 14(1) of the Criminal Disclosure Act 2008. Further requests for disclosure should be made in writing to O/C case on NFAA 85 at police.gov.nz. Now I've got 5 days to reply to that, to get more disclosure, which when we go along further, I see I can make it bigger here. Okay, we'll go along further. We get to see, that's all my affidavit that I've put together, and here you will see, hang on, I'll go along some more. Now there's the first page, the second page. As you can see, she signed again. Summary of facts. I'll go further. I want to really get this clear with you, that when she came into my home, she bought this constable, Christian Yoga. You'll notice his surname is in capitals, and he's a constable, which is a front office. She's a CIB, Criminal Investigation Bureau, with her name as a common natural person in a common law of courts. Now this is how it happens. She came on this other one before this. Okay, she came here as a natural person there and arrested me as a detective. Only a constable can arrest you, not a detective. Now she's covering herself by being common law in a contract court setting with these documents are contracts. These documents are to put me into contract, or anybody into contract, to get money out of you, to extract money out of you. By them, she made this name up, John and Wanoa capital letters. That becomes a corporate dead person. That's not me, the live person. You won't see my name anywhere there in lowercase, only her name there. And I'm going to show you how she got caught out by her own colleagues that didn't know legalese. These are legalese. She constructed all these documents under that police logo with a crown on it, and I've got to disclose whose crown that is. It's not the Queen, because she's not there. She's gone into EU Parliament, so that there is in question. Right, I'm just telling you on this video. We'll go back to her one. Her question is this disclosure of this Mr. Wanoa here. That's one man. John Wanoa here. That's a second name. And my name is not in anywhere in lowercase, you see. So I'm going to go through, and her name here is in question. She's going to be subpoenaed into court if she doesn't answer the affidavit of full disclosure of how she put these papers together, and not a lawyer or a barrister or the Solicitor General. Now, she's put the constable's name into uppercase here. Now, this is a dead person, legal person in Admiralty law, in a contract court. This is to a contract court in front of a contract court judge, who is a bench bank. Bank is the bench, the court bench is the bank, Now he signed it, okay? He signed it. Now what he did, now can you see this? He said at about 11:30 p.m. I helped transport a male back to Auckland Central Police Station by the name of John Wanoa, dead person. So he took me as John Hawani Wanoa in lowercase as a natural person, but she put this name here as if I'm a dead person who was arrested. So she's saying this person was arrested and not me, the natural person with my lowercase name, who was arrested. Now this is false. This is fraud, forgery of a name that's not real. Arrested. This person here was arrested at 16 Park Avenue, not me with a natural person name, and forcible entry by Detective Flowerdew-Brown. This his colleague that came to my house, opened the door, came in, and gave me these papers to arrest me with her own creation of these documents, not a lawyer. She created these documents to come to my house with this constable. Only the constable can arrest you, but she arrested me and served me the papers, and this guy came to cart me away in the vehicle into prison. Okay? So it says, at about 11:30 p.m. I helped transport a male back to Auckland Central Police Station by the name of John Wanoa, who was arrested at 16 Park Avenue, Otahu, for forcible entry by Detective Flowerdew-Brown. He's put her into a contract, and that identifies the dead her person in this second document of the number. I've got the number of it as reference in the court. This was 12:50 p.m. I conducted a DVD interview. That's the guy that came with me from my house. Okay, so I confirm, he's saying here, I confirmed the truth and accuracy of this statement. He's saying it's accurate. It means that Flowerdew-Brown is accurate, the detective that arrested this person, John Wanoa, that she wrote this out for him to sign. Okay? So she has to tell the court who wrote it and who fashioned the words and letters to make an arrest on me. So that, it says here, I confirm the truth and accuracy of this statement. I make this statement with the knowledge that it is to be used in court proceedings. I am aware that it is an offence to make a statement that is known by me to be false or intended for me to mislead. Now I'm just saying clearly misleading the court and misleading me. What is it? So, back to where we were. I'm going to go through this so you can exactly hear what I'm saying to explain what Natalie Flowerdew-Brown did to defraud or mislead me, the court, and the whole of the profession of lawyers and barristers. So on the third page I pull these documents out as from all the rest of it. Now here we can see John Monga, that's the other guy that got arrested at the same time as me in the van and taken into custody. And so you've got to inquiry 07B 16 Park Avenue, Otahu, speak to Wanoa John. Now they put the name different now with a PRN number. This is the bank, how they get the money before it hits the bank from out of your account. Okay, so they put the birth certificate there that they've stolen. They'll put, where's this gone to? What's this jumped? Hang on a second. Oh, right, back here. Right, back here on this page, we're only on the third document, and I'm explaining that they've put this person, which is not me, Wanoa John. Now that's a different way of putting the name. And a PRN number. This is the social security number that they take the money out of the account before it goes into your bank account. Okay, or it'll take it out of the bank account through a court order. So this is where they are stealing money out of my account. Arrest Wanoa in capitals for forcible entry under Section 91 Crimes Act 1961. Advise Wanoa of his Bill of Rights. So they're talking to a dead person, and they've taken me the live person with my lowercase name. So, and she signs it, and it's signed here by Natalie Flowerdew-Brown. Can you notice that her name is in capitals here? And yet when she first started out on me, it was in lowercase. That's the 18th of October 2015. There's her signature. She has sworn this to someone. And her supervisor is Mark Franish. Now they're all liable. They're all liable for this forged document that's been scrubbed out here. Okay? So now she has put these documents of police paper with their logo on it, police logo, with a crown on top of it, and she constructed this, put those staff names into Legalese form, which is dead. Wanoa, dead, and the address, and this other one, Valentine, Rachel Valentine, Debbie King, and Leanne O'Keefe. There was another girl there too, so she's lumbered in it. There is 40 altogether, police and tenants on that land block, and the managers, administrators of Tournament Group Limited Company. Okay, so they're really in trouble. Now there's that Indian, Shanashi, Vishanash, and Alex Brown. You've got another one, Robertson, was there from another company next door. So now you're seeing these the makeup of these fraud statements that they've sworn to are true and correct. So now we come along to the story that I put, and they're linking the dead person to me, the live person. Nowhere in these documents will you see my name in lowercase as natural. Now I'm just pointing out here that the fraud is actually the document itself, which I'm pointing to the judge and to our native assessor elder, where the whole police is in dispute or repute as fraudulent dealings and misleading of fraud documents to arrest me or anybody else. Now this pound note we have here is on each of those police. There's 40 altogether of those people I have named, photographed, and billed them. Now it's up to the court to prove that we have an agreement between me, through my barrister, to Natalie Flowerdew-Brown, that she has libelled the whole police force, and that the judge will rule in our favour to dismiss her and charge her with a counterclaim for forging documents that have libelled her and libelled everyone else connected to her as joinder, as accessories to the fraud of that land title, 77 Cook Street or 1/61 Cook Street, and there's enough information about that. So it has the consequences of breaking New Zealand law. That this note here is a levy debtors note of 970 million trillion pound note up against Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis and the Vatican Church and State the Church of England, State and Church, and also Evelyn Rothschild, the Bank of England, and their pound note will be debted by this pound note through our partners, the British military, and what's left of Westminster Parliament. We're setting up on Devon, England, on King William's estate land, the King of Hanover, the King of Britain, UK, and the King of Moai, Pacific, and the world, King Ernest Augustus V. Okay, so that's what this pound note is for, to the British military, to recover and salvage all of that from the Queen's Bench Court that has been collected on behalf of the King's Bench Court. King William, as you see here, on the right. Okay, so I'm just, and Robert the Bruce here, Scotland, and their Scottish pound note, but this is the Hanover debtors levy note against every policeman, every corporate entity, and every trust and corporation in the world that the Pope has destroyed all corporations and trusts. We are telling the police, and they're ignoring what we're saying about Pope Francis has destroyed all corporations and their corporation and trust as well. That's what the judge found me innocent of any charges, and then the police, and that was the end of the court, Auckland District Court, and me in their contract court. But then the police opened up a new case of a contract between Natalie Flowerdew-Brown here and her documents that she put together, and these are the documents: 666, 667, 670, 671, 672, 673, 676, 677, 678, 680 and 685 are those ones I just showed you. The evidence of fraud, forged documents that have been misleading. The court is using them to make a case against me. I now want these cases removed and reversed onto the fraud and put them into the fraud as accessories to Doug Rickard Bell and Jamie Peters, land titles on 61 Cook Street, connected to 77 Cook Street, this one with James Pierce Brown and Simon Brent ROWNTREE, and their land conveyancing lawyers, Mark Hornibrook and Andrew MacDonald, and all the police involved, including Natalie Flowerdew-Brown, Aaron Pascoe, Detective Aaron Pascoe, and Detective Tim Duthie. Those three detectives are the ones, the police, who have constructed this cover-up of a fraudulent land title transfer mortgage, and they have also got caught up in benefit fraud and identity theft. That means stealing my birth certificate to make money for their companies, okay, their corporate companies. Okay, so that's really what I wanted to tell you today, was that we have this site on 42 photos altogether on that article, and so we are on to this site here of 61 Cook Street, John Wanoa versus NZ Police Natalie Flowerdew-Brown. Okay, so all I wanted to say in this video is that Natalie has created a document or documents to mislead the New Zealand law in the courts, with police making their own law to arrest me. Okay, it wasn't an arrest warrant. There was no arrest warrant given. She just came in my house and told me to take my shirt off, my sheriff's shirt, and she took that away as evidence against me for this property 77 Cook Street property takeover or seizure. Okay, so I'm going to ask the judge, or rather my native assessor, Pamea Mackay, as a private out-of-court settlement between me and the police and Natalie Flowerdew-Brown, that if she does not refute my affidavit here, right here, this one, that one, then I have a legal right to ask the judge, or that's what Pamea is doing. He's going to get me to sign it. He'll send it back to me today to sign. I'll send it back, post it back. He takes a copy to the judge, and then he goes and serves Natalie Flowerdew-Brown, detective, to refute it within 72 hours. If she does not refute it to him, because he's a native, he's done this before, he's got a record of it, the Cree case, he did this and succeeded in dismissing the case. So if she fails to refute it, then he will take that to the judge and dismiss the case as being true, that she has committed fraud on behalf of the police, and then I give the copy of the same affidavit here. This affidavit, you can read it online, you can read exactly what I'm saying, to Natalie Flowerdew-Brown. Now, she's going to have to answer because she set herself as a natural person in a common law court. And then 1 minute she's acting as a natural person and then into a corporate person in capitals. She got caught because her colleagues put her name in capitals. And that's proof. They signed it as true and correct. And now she's caught right in it. She can't get out of it. Not going to get out of it. That's why I'm recording it, so that you can see the case before the judge gets it. He'll get this from Pamea, and he will get it from my barrister. By then, it's too late. Everybody knows what's going to happen. Now, the judge cannot rule against something true that's in maxims of law prevails. If it's not refuted, becomes a contract by default of that person who does not refute it in the court. He's going to seal it in the court at the registry office, and then if she fails again to refute it, it'll get a subpoena onto the stand to tell the court what she did to these documents, to forge them, and how she did it to illegally arrest me. Now, I have good cause to get a writ through my barrister from the judge of the day to seize my ancestral inheritance property back into my hapu native chiefs, renters, custody. Okay, so I'm preparing for that now, because that's what I wanted to do after 6 years, 8 months, is to seize it back, because they're committing fraud in there and the police are covering up the lawyers and the landowners. They are not going to get away because they've done this to everybody in this country. Now, one last thing before I go is that John Key is bringing the TPPA meeting up to Waitangi, I guess so, with Obama. This is a warning to you, Obama. You know what you're doing with the Queen, because she's in this fraud case as these people are accessories to her and her crown that has on their documents all these years in the courts, the Queen's Bench Court and the Queen's Counsel. My lawyer, Yu Taek Choi, is the Queen's Counsel when there's no Queen there. So he signed your document with your name on it, John Key. You're liable because that Queen's Counsel that I just named got his photo all over my documents and gone to the High Court of Admiralty in London. You can't get away with this one. and you can't touch our titles to King William IV as me surrogate to him in contract, private, with these documents I'm putting together with his crown on it, and here is his crown. There's his crown there, with his 8-point star. Okay, so that's the Irish 8-point star, St. Patrick's Order, Church Order, and King William IV's crown on the top, and his Admiralty horse and his ship in the background in the middle. That's our authority over your authority, John Key, and the Pacific Islands, and the 12 nation states titles is right here to British military, that the Queen and her government with David Cameron is libeling the British military because of what the Pope said. All trusts and corporations are gone, so they've cunningly gone and billed them for all the people they've killed. This is how fraudulent the Queen has been over all the land. She says she owns 66 million acres of land, fact owned by the King himself here, to King Ernest Augustus V, live in England, is the reigning monarch, sovereign, that I'm going under to nominate him and take my place as surrogate King William IV to talk for him. Okay, I'm doing all the talking up at Waitangi when we open the upper house of Parliament on the 4th. That will have authority over you, John Key, and all those 12 countries are liable. You are liable, from what I'm saying on this document, because this is the House of Cards. Once this goes, you're all gone, sliding into the sea, where you came from in the first place, with all these fraud documents you can't get away with, because we're the only native people in the world that has the legal authority to foreclose on all your properties, because of Salic law forbids any woman from succeeding to the throne. That's Moai's flag and the pyramids and Moai statue and the sun god Ra and King William IV and King Ernest Augustus, four corners of the earth with the 8-point star. Okay, and the New World Order and the British military is our partner. Right there, the title on these documents. Okay, so you're going to get the bill. The bill is down here, and you've got to get the bill for the other, that one. There's your £1 trillion bill. Okay, on each of you policemen, there's 40 of you altogether, with one of these on your head. Levy, debtor's notice, right there with my head on it. Okay, and the gold. That's the gold in the Queen Victoria Trust. It's right there. Okay, and so forth. So that's the genuine pound note with the 2 bars, as you can see. 2 bars on the pound note is the real one, not the 1 bar, the 2 bars. So that's a levy debtor to each of you. I'm making this public notice from here in Rotorua at my friend's place, and that sticks. There's King William IV, 1836 British gold, 1 sovereign, William IV, slabbed and graded. Right there, right. All his coins are our legal authority and assets of his entire estate, right back from him, from Ernest Augustus now the 5th, and his son Ernest Augustus, Prince Regent, 2016, back to King William the 4th, 1830-1837. Our laws are going through Titi Marae with our East Cape hapu and the Commonwealth Government of the World set up there at East Cape, straight to Devon and England on William Yard and King William's Memorial to the Moai statue memorial right here. Okay, memorial, right, the seal of King William and the seal of Moai right there together, and the flags. Okay, so be warned that we have authority to bill you. This is for the Cook Street property, the land itself, of Robert the Bruce and King William the Fourth here, and the King of Hanover, Crown. This note is a Treasury note against 77 Cook Street on the land itself back then. So that's just one note that we are using, belongs to us, and that's Matt Taylor in England, on our Moai, King William Party leader, and also the leader of the party of his own, the Independent SOS Party in Brighton. Okay, so that's a £100 million note there. These are the notes that are in the bank, the ANZ Bank here. Now that's Jamie, Anna Marie Stewart Patrick, the Patrick name with the Patrick 8-point star of the St. Patrick Order of the New World Order is what we're using as our memorial titles, and Moai title memorial here, and King William's memorials to the land. He's the land, and King William is the commerce. Okay, so these are our notes, and that's the original pound note of King Tawhao, and a Kiwi on it in those days. So we have put King William there, his flag of Admiralty that got you on these lands and the mortgages, lands, is that flag. And his seal of monarchy, that's the only seal left of a king. He's the only king that put the pound note and the commerce through the world together in our times, okay? And the gold. So that's Desmond Wanoa there with the Moai statue, real one, from East Island with his crown on his head. That's the real crown. Now that the Queen's gone, she's gone to blazes because she wasn't real in the first place. She has no coronation. Everything was fake. Even the pyramid money, the US dollar, is fake. Came from England, came from her. Now this is an original 1888 pound note. Okay, so we go back that far with this pound note that we've fashioned to put King William back on it. Okay, so that's a £1 note with Desmond Wanoa on it, and the original East Island Moai statue standing in Dunedin, South Island. And there's another one in Auckland that has the title over Auckland. So that's the title of the South Island, and the one in Auckland I've got under me as the title of North Island. Okay, so we've got that tied up. Now here I just wanted to show you, these are all the debtors instruments that we're using on our documents, okay, as money. This is the sovereign monarch ship with our flag on the top there. Okay, so this is our seal of Moai, and this is a ship that's carrying our flag there on its mast. Okay, so the shore sail was flying our flag, and also the P&O shipping lines, passenger shipping lines, was carrying our flags as well. And it's still current. Now there's King William himself with his 8-point star badge. There's his 8-point star right there. Okay, his 8-point star badge there. And there he is, 1765, 1837. Okay, so that's who our authority comes from, with the 8-point star badge there. Okay, the New World Order. Alright, so I'm just telling you where I get my authority from in this country, over and above John Key. You do not have any of that to your name. That's the 8 kings of Britain. The 8 kings: King George I, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, King William IV, and King Ernest Augustus I. Those are the 8 kings, and the British Empire and the Roman Empire right there. That's ours. That's my authority. Thank you very much, your police. And the Hanover, King of Hanover, there, the 4 kings. King William II, King William III, the father of King William IV, King Ernest Augustus the first, and King George the Fourth. Okay, so that's the three sons and the father of America right there. These are my authority people who are watching, and that's the Hanover coat of arms right there. These are my authorities, people. Okay, so these are just, and this is the new King of England, the legal, legitimate King of England, Ernest Augustus V. Okay, so this is who I'm putting in as king to take my place as a surrogate, King William IV, to transfer the king title to him. Okay, so today is Monday, the 11th of January 2016, and I'm bringing you this report on Cook Street to tell you where I get my authority from. You can see here a few more authorities of who I am and what I'm saying as King John. That there's a book will come out with King John in it, and all these titles that I have as a native indigenous Wanoa name from East Island and Royalty Island to Aotea, New Zealand. So this is King Ernest Augustus the Fifth, with his 8-point star badge there that the Pope is using as his authority. He didn't really have it. It was ours in the first place. The 8 points, one for King William and the other, or Queen Victoria's gone now because the Queen's gone with her and left it defaulted back to the King of England. And his 8-point stars, the first top one is King William, and the 7 other ones is the 7 wakas in the Pacific Islands that they're calling the 12-nation state, belongs to us. This is our king. And it goes back to Ernest Augustus 14 AD. 14 AD through to King Solomon's mines and the Gold Trail, all the way up to William the Conqueror, and all the way through to King William IV, and all the way back to Ernest Augustus V. Okay, him there. Okay, him. Okay, so he is 66 years old, very much alive, and his son is 33, Ernest Augustus, Prince Regent. Okay, so that's what I really wanted to say in this article I just put on, and that's our authority on this country and right through the world. The Moai Crown, King William IV, Commonwealth of the world and Pacific Islands. Okay, so that's our authority as me, the sheriff, right there, my badge. And if there's any issues from the courts in New Zealand, then that's our court in England, right, with King William's Memorial in Devon, where I'm going, in England, on his William Yard. And I'll put our flag up right there, the Confederation flag of the chiefs of the tribes of Aotearoa, New Tireni. And then we'll put Moai's statue right there. And those are the two most powerful memorials in the world. And there's Moai there, as has spaceships and technology right there, higher intellect. Okay, and that's the court in the Rolls building, 31 court rooms, including 3 super courts, where we're going and lodged our complaint on Cook Street. Straight in there. So there is a picture of the Ocean Monarch with our flag flying on it, there, on the crossbar. And Jamie and I, who will be going to right through the islands as ambassadors for King William IV, and bringing families together again through the Pacific Islands initially for Moai statue memorial with King William's memorials. So these are all, there's Queen Victoria there, and there's Philip Hammond. He's the Foreign Secretary, was, and now he's he's the Foreign Secretary now, and was a Secretary of State before. Now he's the one causing all the wars with the Queen and David Cameron. We're making him liable. We're making her liable for all the missing gold here, and Andrew the trustee, that's the trustee and the King and Queen of Spain, right there. Okay, they're liable. There, four of them are liable for all the missing gold. 1.5 million tonnes, metric tonnes of gold is missing. Belongs to our trust. Belongs to our trust. Okay, and our live people. So I just show you that where we're going. There's our flag, King William's flag, four corners of the earth, and the protectorate is the black star around the flag. Thank you very much. The film has run out of battery. Bye for now. John Wanoa, Rotorua, New Zealand.